Hey, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. My secondary channel, the number one grinder, real talk. This is number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. This is the underrated boxing talk number 70. We got Ohio runs boxing. We're gonna get them on in a few. I'm gonna hit y'all. Let me read this first. Remember us as the righteous ones, we are still be winners. Just remember, that's the real. We are still winners, the righteous ones. Just remember that, y'all. Just remember that. I'm gonna hit y'all with this intro, the short intro. Be back. Welcome to my channel, the underrated darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, the best kept secret in YouTube. Welcome. We got the one and only Ohio boxing. Runs boxing.
It's good, man.
What's good with you, brother? How you feel?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Relaxing.
That's good, man. Thanks for coming. Pretty much appreciate it. We invite some more people come through. See if they gonna come through or not. But tell people about yourself before we continue.
Uh, I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio. I moved to Columbus, man, and I got involved in the boxing game when I was started boxing when I was 12, and didn't have a long career. I can't take a body punch, but uh, uh, I end up leaving boxing and just getting out of the whole game, man. I grew up with the Al Haymans and them, so my aunt used to date Bobby Heyman, so I'm very familiar.
Mm.
I'm very familiar with the Haymans.
Mhm.
Uh, Being in the music industry, my aunt, I met MC Hammer, SWV, Troop. I met a lot of those music artists because of the Haymans, and my aunt was in beauty pageants, so that's how she was
Oh.
able to cross over because of her beauty, and attract the high value men, I should say, and so I ended up getting involved in boxing later on as I got, I'd say about 22, 23. I found I got start co-promoting and being and doing boxing journalists about for Ohio. So I just wanted to talk about the state and get more involved in boxing from there, man. And that's when Ohio Run Boxing was born, uh, and it's been getting bigger ever since then. So, but that's a little bit about me, Marcus Nall, in the boxing game, and how I got into it. So it was I was pretty much born into it, man. think about my aunt and dealing with the Haymans and all that stuff. So
Mm.
yeah, they was always. Bobby used to box. His brother, Al Heyman brother, Bobby was a boxer, so he was always around that.
Oh, God, that's good. All right, so thanks for coming. Thanks for you take out the time. Yes, that is the one and only Ohio Run Boxing. Yes, that's what you see right there. There's no fake. There's just what you. That's what you see. That's what you're gonna be like. Hold up, yeet. Yep, that's Ohio Run Boxing right there, right in the flesh. Let's talk about the fights throughout this weekend. Which ones that you and also talk about the damages and stuff.
uh, the fights that's coming up this weekend, or are you talking about fights that I was partaking in? Because we had one that
Yeah, talk about that one first. Yeah.
well, that one didn't go too good, man. We had a guy from Missouri, from Kansas City, Missouri, that ended up taking the fight. One of my guys from Columbus named Rasheed Stevens, undefeated, 6-0 with 5 KOs. He ended up driving uh, 10 hours to fight this guy in his hometown. When we got there, it was kind of strange because the guy didn't show up at the weigh-in. He only came when we left. I wasn't there, but this is what the team was telling me. So he only came when they left, and he was 4 pounds over.
Mhm,
That was one red flag.
mhm,
Two, they uh they didn't hear anything from him. Like they didn't see him. They didn't get to see him the whole time. What he looked like. It was weird. It was really weird. And then come to find out the day of the fight, he was a no call, no show.
mhm.
So the Rashid ended up getting his check and had to drive back. And he's on the road as we speak. So they should be getting back here probably around this time or 9 o'clock. So he's been on the road. They driving 10 hours. So it was unfortunate. It's unprofessional.
Mhm,
He says that it was because he didn't get the money was messed up on his side. That's what Deshaun was saying. But it
mm.
doesn't matter if that was the case. You should have told me or reached out to some or our team first to let us know that your management didn't handle the money properly or give you the money you deserve. We wouldn't have
Uh-huh.
drove 10 hours down there not to fight. That was just unprofessional and
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
very, very unprofessional. So, but that's what you have to deal with sometimes in this boxing game, man. You got a lot of unprofessional guys, and some of these boxers don't even understand that they can actually mess it up for like. I do matchmaking too. I actually help out and put fights together as well too. But
Mm.
I was just talking to one of my guys, this dude named Juan Nieves, and he's a matchmaker, and he was talking about how some of these fighters don't go to fights or turn down fights, and it makes him look bad because he falls out with Top Rank or Golden Boy, and they get mad at him because the fighters ain't showing up. So they do that sometimes, and it messes up his reputation. So you got to be
Right.
careful who you dealing with when it comes to these type of putting on shows and with these fighters, man, because some of them is just unprofessional. They really
That's
are.
good. Yeah. Before we get to the fight next week, because I mean, Khan Charlery, I got to say, I got to put my email. If you want to come up, let me know. Before we get to tell the people, when you promote the fight and matchmaking, tell because people think it's the same, but I know there's a difference. Explain to people what's the difference, please.
What do you mean with the promoting?
Yeah, promoting and the
Promotion.
matchmaking.
Well, the promoters is co-promoting and promoting. Co-promoting is just like joint promotion. For example, what I do is with the fighters, for example, Rasheed Stevens, who I just mentioned, he's undefeated. I posted him on my platform and said, he's 6-0. Don't nobody know who he is, right?
Uh huh.
Promoters will see that and they will start looking at my fan base and seeing how many people I got, how many people are interested in what I'm doing, and sometimes they create a business model where they actually take the fighter, sign him to their promotion, and will use me as a part of helping them promote that fighter because I was talking about him when nobody was. It was more like a scout. So the promoter got his job is to promote the fighter. But what I'm doing is pretty much independent. Where a lot of the guys who don't have promoters, I help them get promoters. You get
Mm,
what I'm saying? I help
right,
them get opportunities that they normally don't get because they don't have a platform. They don't have a big platform. They don't know how to really sell themselves. You know what I mean? I can take a guy that's 3-0 and make him look like he's triple G by some of the the
right.
the stuff that I do on social media and certain things like that. And these fighters have got sponsors and different things like that. But far as when it comes to the matchmaking, sometimes that's different from promoters. Promoters is just job is to promote the fight, is to get the fight in the venues. You know, the co-promoter, not even the co-promoter, matchmakers too, which can be co-promoters, actually help get the fights where they reach out to these fighters and they put on the card, they put on the fights together. You know what I mean? They help,
Yeah,
but the fighters got to agree. So that's what we deal with on the back end. You deal with a lot of fighters who don't want to fight this guy right now because he's 6-0, he's
yeah.
3-0. He don't know if he want to take that fight right now. So you deal with a lot of that in the back end. People don't understand the frustration that you have to deal with when it comes to the business side of boxing. It's very it can be corrupt. It's always been corrupt, but it can be frustrating. But you can do good business in boxing as well. But you just got to know what you're doing and who you linking up with when it comes to boxing. When it comes to this game, you got to know. You just got to.
That's
It's all about knowing.
that's good. Before we gonna talk about the fights coming up and another news, boxing news. He's gonna come back. I'm gonna have a special boxing live, and we're gonna talk about the best boxing Olympic teams. That could be Goodwill Games or Olympics. It could be either one, or it could be. I'm gonna throw it out there. Even Golden Gloves. We gonna do we gonna do that, but it's gonna be sometime this week, and it's gonna be in the nighttime. So I just got a call. So Ohio Run Boxing, he's gonna be part of that panel. So you got some more time, brother. I'll let you know. You got some more, brother, to think about. But I'm looking like it's gonna be like nighttime, y'all. I'm looking at between 8:30, 9 o'clock my time. So, but I gotta get some brother. I gotta get some brothers on here so we can participate in that. So watch out for that. That's gonna be a special boxing live this week. So I'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's talk about the fight coming up.
Earl Spence.
Yeah.
I think Earl Spence gets stopped in 4.
Ooh.
No, let me stop, man.
Ooh. Yeah.
No.
You heard that's a ooh.
Right. No, man. I think let me tell you what's good for boxing before I get my what's good for boxing is Earl coming out looking really impressive and dominating. And hopefully you get a stoppage because
Yeah.
then people will go crazy. Like he's stopping a guy that's never been stopped.
Yeah.
It would boost him up. It would give his fans some type of hope. I think a lot of Earl fans right now is in doubt right now. They really are.
Yes.
They don't want to be realistic. I get it. You gotta be a fan. You don't want to have to say it out there in the public. But I think when it comes to the performance, eye for eye, Crawford has been looking better, and and he's been moved up in weight and stopping all these welterweights. He's looking like he's the one that's favored going into that fight. So they definitely need Earl Spence to look good to give them something to be proud about. I just don't know a competitive, tight fight will make the fight that much bigger. I don't know, man. I think a stoppage will really boost that up and will be a good promotional tool for Crawford and Earl Spence. Hopefully they fight next. That's what we can do. All we can do is hope.
I think you know what I think, bro. I look for Spence gonna. I feel they gonna be he gonna beat Ugas, but it's gonna be close.
Mm,
But I'm saying for boxing, I'm along with you thinking a stoppage. It would bring prominence back to boxing. We
yeah,
got to see a stoppage because let's be honest here. Let's be honest. For the last few years, we like we do like fundamentals. We do like people, X and O's. We like different, punches. We like the styles. We do right. We hardcore boxing fans, but fuck it. We want to see your head knocked the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta understand. You know what I'm saying? I want to go, hold on for 1 second, please. Hold on for 1 second. 1 second, please.
Ohio rounds boxing. Yep. I think it's gonna be a good fight though. I hope they put on some fireworks, man, for the people. Boxing needed.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, that's I had a phone call. That's how I called back. Yeah, but I want to see. We want to see head. We want not head knocked off, but I want to see some stoppage. And then you have to. If it Spence get a stop, I'm just saying. If Spence Crawford, I'm calling TC. You need to march up there. I want that fight.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see you walk up there, make sure it's Spence win and everything. If it's a stop, well, we want to see a stoppage, yeah. But when it's Spence wins, we want to see you come up there. I want to fight in November. That's what I want to hear. Even September. We want to see a fight in November. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. Cause then also I definitely want to talk get into what Terrence Crawford about. He gonna fight. I see. I want to get into that too, but also Crawford. You have to understand this: if Spence wins, that's 3 belts to 1. There's no leverage to that. You used to have leverage, but there's no leverage to that. So wherever it is, you got to take. Now, there is some. Now, let me ask you this question, brother. There is talking that Terrence Crawford signed the PBC.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. I don't know how true that is though, but I am hearing that. But every time we reach out to Bomac and them, they say that's not true. But I know how Al Heyman works too. Al Heyman don't have people. They don't just broadcast it out. When you hear they sign, 9 times out of 10 they already got a fight planned up when the fighter do sign. But Rashidi Ellis just signed with PBC, and a lot of people didn't know that. And then
Right.
he put it out there. He was allowed to put it out there. But yeah, Bomac and the team ain't really saying nothing. They saying it's false, it's not true. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how true it is, but I think it'd be smart. I'm looking at more of a 3-fight deal because if you fight Earl and you beat him, you got to rematch him, and that's 2. And then, my bad. If you beat him 2 times, you got another fight, like Keith Thurman or somebody or whatever you want to do. So, two to 3 fight deals is definitely good. PBC. He doesn't have to fight a big time contract or anything like that. So, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, because
Hope we can hope. That's all I can say. We can
yeah,
hope.
I can hope, but there is some talking that Crawford is fighting Garcia, right?
I don't think I'm hearing that, but that's not a fight that excites me. That's an easy fight for Terrence Crawford. Style wise, it's I don't even know why Danny Garcia team would take it unless the money was good. But I don't see that's not a I wouldn't like that fight. I'd rather see Thurman and Terrence Crawford than
Thurman?
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't like Thurman. Thurman was I think he should wait, man. That's me.
You said what?
I think Thurman should wait. Wait his turn.
Well, Danny will have to wait too. I mean, it ain't his time,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true too. But I think Thurman should wait.
huh?
I think Thurman should wait. Why he should come in and just be like in the championship talk. That's my thing.
I think because I look at it like Thurman still earned that right to still be in the mix. I don't think he lost to Manny Pacquiao, but that was it. That was a good loss. I mean, he was unified. He was a unified champion, man. You're supposed to stay in the rankings. When you lose, you don't drop out at a number 2 or number 3 all the way to 9 or 10. you stay in the top 5 when you lose your first fight, especially against another top welterweight in the top 5. You don't drop that big. I felt the same way when Kovalev lost to Andre Ward, and they both was on the pound for pound list. Do Kovalev move to 9 or off the top 10 because he lost to Andre Ward, or was that a good loss? Do he stay in the top 5?
That's
You
it.
know,
I get
you
what
got
you're saying.
you got to look at it like that. So that's how I look at it when it comes to Thurman. Some people just don't like Thurman. I think he's more skilled than Danny Garcia. I don't think he get enough credit. He can't take body shots. But I have to be careful when I say that too, because he's never been down from a body shot. I'll put it like he can't sell it. He gets hurt from body shots. He just don't know how to sell it. You know what I mean? Act like he can't be hurt from it, but he's never been down from a body shot, which is impressive because I know how it feels to get hit with a body. Those are worse than look. I'd rather get knocked out. I'll tell y'all right now. Wake me up and tell me who won than a body shot. So
You know what? Somebody told me that too. I know a boxer when I was growing up in New York. He said, "Yeah, man, man, I got hit a kidney, man. That's the feeling that I don't, man. I no." He said, "I can't take." He said,
yes, they are really they're deadly. So I give Keith Thurman a lot of credit for him to be able to take body shots, uh, and come back and still fight. I mean, he gets hurt from him. Barrios hurt him with a body shot. Sean hurt him with a body shot. You know, the list goes on when guys didn't hit Keith. So I think Crawford would definitely try to capitalize on that. But skill for skill, it would definitely be a real chess match at the beginning because I think Keith does a good job at feinting and setting traps, and I think Terrence Crawford knows that. So that's how I look at it. I look more deeper into about the styles. But I think Danny Garcia, in my opinion, he can't really do. He's flat footed. You know, he got a left hook that every fighter must respect. But Danny doesn't box uh, that well, in my opinion. He just don't.
and I think that I'm glad that you brought up that fight with guys Danny and with when I see it on Blue Blood, right? Early. I just seen it. I just like, what? I did. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose again? What's the purpose really? That because it's not attractive. It's not. I mean, like, if it's a tuna, I'm like, if it's a tuna, okay, just say it's a tuna. But ain't no way in hell that that
Yep.
that's all I can. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's like for me, it's like, what the Why?
I thought Danny is moving up to 154. I think he should be going moving up to 154. There's nothing else at 147 for him. There's no real sexy fights for me for him. I thought Adrian Broner and him would be a good fight at 147, but the styles was more concerning to me because they both like the counter and try to catch each other. So that's a very ugly type of fight. Good names, but just ugly fight based on the styles.
I agree
So
with you. I agree with you. I think that there's no fight. I've been saying this for the past past boxing alive. I said that Danny I said he just might. There's nothing for him in the welterweight. He just go move to 154.
mm-hmm,
Take your chances up there. I think he could get some fight. I feel he get some fights up there at 154.
mm-hmm.
But down here and everything. Now what all right, cool. So what you think about Boost? Hey, Boost in this.
He the truth. He the truth. I'm not one of them people from Missouri that you gotta show me state. I'm the type that I can see based on the level of opponents and his skill set that he has the goods. He can definitely be world champion. Some people he has to beat top contenders for people to believe who you are. I get it. Not mad at it. I'm just one of those guys that I can see a guy and be like, that's a bad boy. I can see. And him and sparring, uh, him knocking guys out in sparring has just been crazy, man. But
Yeah.
Enos get good work. He's one of the best right now. I like him. He's a gym rat. He's he stays in the gym. Just good guy overall, man. I can't wait to meet him. I haven't met him yet, but can't wait to meet Ian.
Yeah, when you meet him, man, let us know, man. You come here. You can bring him over here if you can. It'd be real good. Bring him over here so we get to know. I like Boost. I just say wait. I'm just saying like me and Clarence like every time we say Boost who, because it seems like nobody don't want to fight him.
Yeah, I think it's not. See, my thing is, I look at it the business side. It's not that people just don't want to fight him. It's just he's a high risk, low reward type of fighter.
Yeah,
Uh, I always tell people this: the more vulnerable you look, the more opportunities you get in
yeah.
boxing. Uh, you get way more opportunities when you don't look invincible. When you look invincible, they look at you crazy.
Yeah.
They start overpricing themselves. They start, and my thing with Enos is I think he can compete with the top guys, but this is where he needs the sanctioning bodies to help him. The WBC, the IBF, the WBO, those guys help fighters like him because they don't have the fan base. They don't have the attraction. They're uh he's pretty much a local fight. He fight on Showtime, so he's
Mhm.
starting to get some exposure, but he doesn't have that characteristics where he's out there, talk a lot of junk. He's a humble guy. He's quiet. He just want to get in there and knock you out, or try to knock you out.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that, but he doesn't have that personality that he's going to be a superstar and
Right.
going to be selling mad tickets when he become world champion. I don't think that's going to be the case. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because it seems like it's always a mystery on him. There's nothing like when you see like certified like out Spence, or that's personality. You see, I don't like Terrence Crawford. Trust me, I don't. But you see personality. You know that personality will stand out. And I know what you said. See, boosting this is a mystery. You don't know what you're seeing. You know what I mean? I mean, we know he a key. When he come in, he do his thing. He do got a killer instinct. But I know what you talk. I know exactly what you're saying. You do in boxing, you gotta have that appeal. And I think I think that is a I think that's gonna be an upclimb for him. You are absolutely right. I agree with that. That you gotta have that appeal. And I think that I'm gonna talk more about that in the near future in boxing, that what certain boxers have that appeal, and I think that excuse me, we think we should talk more about, including yourself, that you've been in boxing for a long time, so which fighters that has that appeal. Because I think that we should talk about that a little more. I mean, not drain it and everything, but I think that which upcoming fighters have that appeal. That something like you want to like I'm gonna watch that person. No, you gonna drop everything. You gonna watch that person.
I
So
think Tank Davis is one. Tank Davis.
yeah, uh-huh.
Uh, One thing that in order to build a star, to build a star like some of these fighters want to become, when it comes to blacks fighters, they have to know how to cross over to the hip hop community. We have to have Snoop Dogg, uh, Lil Wayne. You gotta have these guys talk something about you or mention you when fight night come. If these guys ain't talking about you, no one is gonna be talking about you.
You
Period.
know that is
Period.
an excellent point, bro. I'm just saying, yes, an excellent point because we got to cross over. But see, that's the problem. We so messed up at this certain how I put it, this systematic mindset that we got to stay right there. How boxing is, we got to reach out to other people, but we got to learn to cross over to our culture.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Tyson did it. Roy Jones did it.
Yeah,
Those were big icons in boxing. Muhammad Ali did it. He was. They wasn't just They didn't just. They more was entertained outside the ring too, man. They wasn't just entertainers in the ring. They knew how.
yeah,
Roy Jones crossed over. He had rap videos. He was in rap. You have to be able to market yourself, and then with the crossover, you come out with different rappers. I mean, that's how the black fighters have always had it.
yeah,
That's been the blueprint. Look at Floyd. Floyd knew to come out with Lil Wayne, Justin Bieber. At that time when he was coming out with Justin Bieber was the hottest thing in music industry. He was
yep,
crossing over. He was selling out within an hour when his concert tickets was being put on the website. So Floyd knew how to put himself with other people to market himself even bigger. That's what Floyd did. That's why he got with 50 Cent. Why he was with Lil Wayne. People, they just missed it. This is the blueprint. And not only was he doing that, he made himself a villain. He talked that junk, and people wanted to see him lose. The difference is now you got a lot of boxers who's trying to box like Floyd, but they haven't put in the work like Floyd. They haven't crossed over. They haven't got they haven't crossed over to our hip hop community and to get more fans. Now here's my thing. Every fighter ain't gonna be that. It's gonna be okay. That's what we have to understand. Every fighter don't have to do that. You can still be a great fighter. You go
Oh,
Andre Ward, one of the best fighters, going to go down in history as one of the best of all time. He was never
oh,
a star. He was
oh,
never a ticket seller. He was never that, and that was okay. He was out of California, but he didn't have that personality. He was a humble guy, good, stayed out of trouble. Ward was never in the. He never did none of that. He goes down in history as 34-0, 18 KOs, but he was never a mainstream star.
no.
Nobody was tuning in to see Andre Ward every time he fought. Just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact. But he still will go down as one of the best fighters in history. So
Mm-hmm.
the casuals might not know him, but the hardcores is definitely gonna know who he is.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. So you said, but let's talk more about Tank Davis. Tank Davis. There's some talk that but they said that the last fight that he gonna have, that's with Mayweather Productions. He gonna go on his own. What you think about that?
uh, I think it's gonna be cool, but he gonna come up with a battle because when you go on your own, these promoters work together. You ain't gonna just go get no one fight deal and try to get belts and just stay solo. That's not gonna work. They're not gonna set you up where you can just get one fight deal. You have to be big as Canelo Alvarez to be able to fight a one off, take somebody belt on their network and keep it pushing. Tank ain't big like Canelo yet. He's working his way up, but it's a lot. Like I said, you got to be in control, and I don't think he's really in that control. He's still going to need Al Heyman, even if he leaves Floyd. I don't know how that contract is written. I don't know how it is. Is he with TMT and separated from Al, or is he on PBC? Because he can leave Floyd and still be with Al. Fighting on their network. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out. Because people thinking as soon as he leaves Floyd, automatically he can go 10 top rank and this and this. He ain't said nothing negative about Al Heyman, and Al Heyman is his advisor. So I would love to see how that play out.
Yeah, I think that when he make that move, I think he'll stay at PBC. That's what I think.
Mm.
Cause that's the that's when you get the matches out. We gotta be honest. You got to think from I said from 135. I said 130. I don't know. Maybe I said 130. Maybe another year and a half. You can say 130. But I said 135 to 154. That's PBC.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thing is that Tank, you stick PBC. I'm saying if Al Haymon can make those fights, great and everything. But I think it'll probably be an uphill climb. You know,
He
you
got
know.
they got he Tank don't want to be in a position like Jamal Charlo, where you winning but you ain't getting the fight you want. It's only I think they built him up well enough. I understood what Floyd and them was trying to do when they was building him. They was trying to build him like a Mike Tyson because people love knockouts. I know females who don't watch boxing, but they know who Tank is.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot. That means people who don't watch boxing, but they know you is you crossing over to the mainstream, especially in the blacks when it comes to the black community. So
Yeah.
I think Floyd was building this knockout artist, and then later try to give him the fights for the hardcore. Uh, and I think it's time to take on the big challenge after Rolly. This is, he needs to take on. He needs a good name for himself right now to shut his critics up. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants big fights and everything. And I think that for me, when he was at 130 and 135, when he was like really hot, I, I'm just saying for me, and I'm asked for your opinion. I think he could have cleaned out 130. He could have unified 130 and 135 quick. And I feel like if he would have done that, then he would have been fight for legacy. You hear what I'm saying? Am I correct? Or because at that time, that's what I'm saying. I'm just.
No, I see what you're saying. I still think they were picky, iffy about who he was fighting. At 130, Tevin Farmer was there. Tevin Farmer was tricky from out of Philly. Philly's shell, great defense. He was with the zone, and that was one of the problems. Uh, that's more easier said than done. I don't think
Uh,
they've been able to make those fights. And on top of that, around that time, they
uh,
still didn't feel Tank can beat Lomachenko. His own team didn't feel that, in my opinion.
yeah,
Uh, when Floyd got into it with Tank Davis before, he actually said that he was making the Lomachenko fight. Now, while you upset at Tank, mad at him, why are you threatening him to fight Lomachenko? And then you hear Tank say they want me to lose. So those are red flags for me, definitely. That
right.
they didn't have confidence in themselves, and Tank didn't either at that time. Maybe now he probably do, or they wait for Tank Lomo to get old. But that fight is not going to be as easy like people think.
No, it's not. I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
You know,
Now, I agree. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk more. You can say
no,
more.
no, yeah, but that's what I said. I don't agree. I think when it comes to Tank uh moving the way he was moving,
Uh,
I think now, like I said, he wants the big fight. So I hope he gets one of the big fights. But that's going to be crossing the street because one thing I see a lot of people do, they're okay with Top Rank keeping their fight in house. They're okay with the zone keeping their fight in house. But when it comes to Al Heyman certain fighters, they're like, oh man, they need to do this, they need to do that, which is true. Don't get me wrong, but that also go for the same of them. When Bob,
mm-hmm.
when Bob ducked Devin Haney for the franchise just to fight in house with Tiafimo. He was
Mm-hmm.
winning regardless who won at that situation. That's what promoters want to be in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you want in house. Yes, you would like to have a crossover promotion, but the fights ain't big enough for crossover promotion. That's why Tommy McGee and Jamal Charlo fight didn't go through because the fight was going to be on Showtime.
Uh-huh.
Then if he would have won, they would have been able to fight on the zone, the app. Top rank PBC is not going to do business. They're not going to have their title holders on another network. I've been telling people this for the longest. That's not
Mm-hmm.
PBC move. You're not going to find any one of their fighters with belts fighting on another network. And if you do, it's because they're big names like Deontay Wilder or Floyd Mayweather. But other than that, they're not going to cross over and do crossover promotions with a DAZN app. It's not going to happen. And I believe De La Hoya was a big part of that fight not happening because he wanted his own to have some type of partnership with Jamal and Hami McGee, and that's not even a big fight for no crossover promotion. It's not. It was silly of him. So at the end of the day, when it comes to Tank, he has to be what fight do we think is big enough for a crossover promotion, or do he got to go on their side of the town? Like you say, fight a 2-fight deal or a 3-fight. So that's what's going to be really interesting. If he still got Al, will he be allowed? Will he be allowed to go and try to make a fight over there? Because it looked like Camboso and Devin is going to be locked in. Devin and Russia. So what is the other big fight for Devin? That's a good question. What is the other big fights over the zone or top rank that he can actually get right now?
That's good. Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You read my mind. Let's talk about
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. What fights? I don't. I'm. Who can he fight at 135 over there? Shakur Stevenson.
But
Shakur can move up.
Shakur is one thing, but Shakur is a 130.
No, that's what I'm saying. Shakur can move up.
He can move.
Uh,
Yeah, that's okay. That's one possibility.
That's one possibility, but I don't know if the money good. Yeah, Shakur wouldn't have no problem moving up trying to fight, Tank. But uh, who else? Jamel Herring is at 135, but that's not a big fight. Uh,
Right.
Jamel's a former champion, and he's not going to threaten no punching power. Uh, I don't know. I really don't know. That's what I said. I don't know. When people saying they won't Tank to fight the big dogs right now, I'm like, who's available right now? He got to wait. Josh Taylor ain't fighting him. At 140. I mean, do he got to go up at 140? I mean, the zone, they're not going to deal with nobody in the zone. So I don't see them dealing with nobody in the zone at all.
So Tank is at 135, right?
Yep.
Okay, at 135. Do you? Cause 140. I ain't gonna fight 140 either.
It's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's like, who do we want him to see? Every time a big fight, who do we want? Momo's out the picture. Camboso and
Right.
Dev is out the picture for the next two fights, or possibly three. I'm trying to find out. I don't know.
Now you hear what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Where I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know, but I, I hate to say this though. Tell me if I'm far reach of that. I mean, like Tank, oh God,
It look like it's gonna be some more rollies lined up after this one,
I
cause
mean, like we could say welterweight, but I don't know.
nah, I don't. Yeah, 140 would be safe for Tank, but I don't know anybody else that can that would be able to put on a real big fight for him at 135. I would have to look at the top, but Ramirez for top rank,
Mhm.
no, he's right in front of you. Tank wouldn't struggle with him at all. Uh, I'm trying to think. I don't see it, man. I just don't see it.
Let me read this. Come, let me read this. Let's start reading these comments and get what you feel about that. All right. Elder Boxer, salute to you. He said Mayweather Promotions never really messed with Tank ever since the unauthorized relationship with Tank had with his with Floyd's daughter back in the day.
Yeah, that was more. I heard about that rumor and stuff. Like, I heard about that. He still was signed with him. He was, and I don't know what he mean by, he didn't really mess with him because Floyd wouldn't have been dealing with him at all if he felt personal about his daughter and certain things. So, I think he is under the contract with Floyd. It was Broner who actually introduced Tank to Floyd Mayweather and told him he needed to work with him and style him. So it was really Broner who introduced that because
Right.
go ahead, but Floyd don't have a real, in my opinion, Floyd don't really have a good eye for talent. He'll see there, he'll watch certain guys, but he doesn't really just sit there and grab the best. I mean, look at his roster over the years. He didn't have just standout fighters at all. No disrespect,
Mhm.
but that was more about Broner getting him signed. But I do believe he is with TNT right now. He is with Floyd on contract.
Got you. Okay. Cool. All right. Let me see. Con Salary said, cross promotion deals can happen if organizations can agree. It's more greed than fairness.
He is nailing it on the head. Greed is the reason why we won't get the fights we want. Cross promotions, listen, mostly cross promotions, even when it ain't even really about the cross promotion. Sometimes when PBC, you got to know how these boxing promotion, their companies work. Every time you seen PBC when they was fighting on top rank, every time you seen a PBC fighter, he did not have a belt. He did not have a belt.
Mm-hmm.
John Porter fighting Crawford. Ooh, mandatory. No, Porter does not have a belt. That's why he's doing it's easy to do business. John Molina, no belt. Felix Diaz, no belt. I can go on and on. That
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to work that way because the belt, they're obligated to those networks. They want those belts being seen on their television network. That's why if you gonna fight when you come to fight with PBC, get you fighting on their stuff or we ain't getting no fight. Look at Canelo. He's the biggest star in boxing. Where did he go fight Caleb Plant at?
That's
It was
true.
on it was on PBC.
PBC, yep.
He's the biggest star. They gave him the biggest purse, whatever. But guess what? At the end of the day, they was gonna get pleased because he was fighting on their network. It wasn't no cross promotion.
Right.
And what happened was him fighting on fighting on PBC, actually gave him a bigger purse with DAZN because they knew they had to compete with PBC now. Like they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have no pay-per-view. Remember, DAZN didn't have no pay-per-view. So when Canelo got done dealing with Al Heyman, he said, I did good business with Al Heyman. They treated me good over there. That's when negotiations started with DAZN. When they started hearing the good things uh, Canelo was saying about Al Heyman.
Uh-huh.
Al Heyman, for one fight, gave him a 3-fight deal with DAZN
Mm.
and pay-per-view. How about that? When they
Yeah.
was against it, they was against pay-per-view, but now all of a sudden they all aboard now with the pay-per-view now because you're competing. That's what happens when you're dealing with a guy like Al. You're gonna be forced to use your hand.
Yeah. I think that's a go back to Terrence Crawford that when he left and then the people he was like lagging at it and he can't find a fight. I said me and Clarence were talking about. I said he go listen. If you want big fights, you got to come to PBC.
Yep.
You gotta come to That's where it's at. He and I know people go like bug people. They no. Yo, listen. You want the big fights, especially you the welterweight. You got to come to PBC. And look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he fuck I said we won't care about it and everything. One way or the other, you gotta come. That's
Man,
what I'm saying. That I ain't even cut you. That's why I understand that you know how Top Rate treats you the first time. Why you signed with them again? You could have went to PBC.
I
We
think
not, no, I'm sorry. God.
I think it was more. I personally believe he's just a loyal guy, and I definitely understand that. But he was under the illusion that Manny Pacquiao got a fight with Floyd Mayweather, and they crossed the street.
Mm-hmm.
TC didn't understand the business model. He doesn't do numbers like that. His fight with Earl Spence is not a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Never will be, no matter what. That just
But
will never be. He's not producing numbers like that. Earl ain't even producing numbers like that, comparing to what Manny did in boxing and what Floyd did in boxing. They're not the same. So, uh, Crawford definitely. I think he's a loyal person, and he got caught up in being loyal to Bob when he should have left. So it's kind of hard to really get mad at him because he thought Bob would be able to give him that fight. He thought Bob would really be able to cross over. Look at Tyson Fury. Tyson did it. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury did it with Wilder. So this is the stuff Bob was saying to Terrence Crawford. Look, I'm working with PBC now. Look, we fighting with Tyson Fury. How can they not want to work with me with you? You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So you can trick guys into signing contracts under the false notion that they think that they might get a fight, and that just didn't happen. And that's unfortunate. But now he has an opportunity. Look at Manny Pacquiao. Manny left and went to PBC. He didn't fight a 1-fight deal. It was a 3-fight deal. He thought
Mm-hmm.
he was going to get that Floyd Mayweather fight, though. That was one of the reasons why he went and signed with Al, but he didn't. He still got good fights. He ended up getting Broner's first fight. I mean, look how that was lit. Fighting
Mm-hmm.
Broner. Then you get Keith Thurman. Then you get Ugas, but you were supposed to get Earl Spence. Look at all 3 of those fights for Manny Pacquiao towards the end of his career, bro. Those are
Mm-hmm.
great fights. And he got paid very, very well, man. He got paid very, very well. So when you go to PBC, you're gonna have a good time. They're gonna make sure you enjoy yourself. And at the end of the day, it's about the business. I think it's just the hearsay nayers that's really trying to discourage TC. I think he's hearing people from behind the closed doors, man, telling him not to do this and not to do that. PBC worked this way. That's the only reason I can think of for him not running the sign with PBC right now. It just makes no sense. You don't have to sign a long-term deal, 2 or 3 fight deal. That's it. That's all you have to do. And And once you work with Al, your opinion is gonna be totally different than how you feel now.
Well, I could say like this, like when I was hearing, PVC fighters, and don't talk about the ones that contenders,
Uh-huh.
and they said I even set them up for life. They teach them about the business,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, you need to listen to him. I mean, like people could hate Earl Spencer they want to, but he said, listen, he said when I first sat down with him, my father, we talking about business set up for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about boxing, and I think that is very impressive. That come on, let's put it out. Boston had treated black fighters like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it out there. And they in a way, I go in a way, they still doing it. So what Al Heyman had done, he sees the potential of the black fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set you up for life, and you gonna take these fights. You can come greater and just work with me. And I think other promotion they don't like that because they're all about take, especially these sanctions. So when you get so I understand you saying about Crawford, you probably hear something about people say, nah, I ain't gonna take it. But like, we gotta be understand. Let's be honest. Again, from 130 to 154, that's mostly PBC. And they are taking, let's listen, we gotta understand. Come on, let's be honest. You've been in boxing a long time. Have you heard any fighter complain about PBC?
No, but the only person that they try to use is Adrian Broner, and I don't think that's a good one. Adrian have his collapses. He'll say
Right,
something, certain things, and
right.
back to being Team PVC. But that's the only fighter. Vanez Monterogen was another fighter who left PVC for a minute and said some negative things about Al, and then he apologized and wanted to come back. But for the most part, none of those fighters really say nothing negative about him. He has a good reputation, and I think that's what's so unique about him. And he teach you, like you said, he teach you about the business side of it, man. That's a threat. Al Heyman reminds me of this show that used to come on way back in the day. I had to be around 12 or 13, and it was on the. I'm trying to see what channel it was on, but it was about a musician who was telling all the not a musician, the dude that the people who do magic. I can't even say
Magician.
magician. That's a musician. Yeah, yeah. Magician. He was telling all the secrets. You remember that? It was coming on TV, and
Yeah, yeah.
they was getting mad because he was revealing all the secrets, but he had his face covered. He had his face covered, and he was revealing all the secrets and was telling people how he did this trick and he did that trick, and they were getting pissed because he was exposing all these so-called magic tricks that really wasn't magic tricks. That is Al Heyman when it comes to boxing. Al Heyman was showing these fighters what is being done. This is being taken. This is why you getting this. This is you need to ask for this. You need to know how much is this in the purse. They can't stand him because he is the guy that's showing them all the tricks. Not only he's showing them all the tricks, but he's teaching them how to invest in their money and grow. And that's what people are hating him for. That's why, and he's the mystery. He don't do no interviews or nothing, don't want to be in the
Oh,
spotlight. That's why that comparison from that TV show is so perfect for Al Heyman. So perfect.
yeah. Like you, man. Nobody cannot see your face. That's why you know. Nah, I'm just
The
messing
Dark
with you.
Shadow, man, is good. I like the
Like,
name.
real, yeah, I like say, yeah, that's right. Why run boxing this mother there? Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't know when he come. Oh, shit, yeah, there you go, man. You don't know when he coming. But
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying that. Let's talk about. I'm not gonna get you on that. I thought it's gonna be some people coming to the panel, but it's all right. We just me and you, we chopping it up. We good. So what about now? You got the Charlos is talking about Don L. Let me say, ho. This show needs more diversity. Very racist. You know what we could do? We can get your ass out here then. How about that? How about that? How about that?
Man, he just trolling whoever that is, man. No, you can't let them get to you, man.
No, it ain't good to me, but nah, this is my show. He ain't gonna say nothing like that. Hey,
That is
rock like him.
that's
Nah.
funny.
And this is what I'm saying. High diversity. Khan, he's white. So what is you talking about? Have you asked questions? So you out here.
Right.
Dumb. So that's the only way, but he's out anyway. No, I don't play them type of games, man. Some no, I'm gonna tell you, it'd be this it was this one. He come down there and I said, "You playing my I'm sorry, but this one now, you just came in there and just say something. Yeah, right. Okay, goodbye. Nice knowing you. Yeah. Get back to Charlo. That Crawford was popping mad junk about Charlo. He said, "I'll come there and fight you," and then Charlo said, "Won't you worry about fight Spence first? Because you come up here." It's a totally different story.
Yep.
It's,
Well, not
so
this. I like Charlo talking shit. I don't got no problem with that. You need the shit talking in sports.
Mhm.
I've been consistent with that. I said that about Blair Cobbs the same way. I had
Mhm.
no problem. You need that, man, in the sport. I like seeing Jamel talk that shit. Excuse my language. Talk that junk.
Mhm. Mhm.
I like it. We need it in sport. Imagine, look at Blair Cobbs. He was talking all that junk. He promoted himself way better than Golden Boy did in the 4 years or 5 years having him. Didn't nobody even
Mhm.
know he was with Golden Boy.
Mhm.
You know, he got people to see him, and when he lost, guess who was talking about him? Earl Spence, Terrence
Mhm.
Crawford.
I think fighters should do more of that. Self promote yourself.
Yep,
Why you waiting these promoters posters? Self promote yourself. Sell the fight.
yep.
Back in the day, what other fights were doing? They were self promote. That's why we had great fights.
I know what they did with me. I drove 9 hours to New York to see Hank Lundy because he was talking junk to Terrence Crawford. I drove 9 hours to see that butt whooping. He did.
Mm.
Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Hank. You made me go to New York for the first time in my life because you was talking junk.
Now, what you want to do with the Barclays?
Nope. That was I was at the Madison Square.
You with the Mecca?
Yep. I was
Now,
at Madison Square, baby.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you a little history on that. Oh, Barclays, right?
Hmm.
I was raised 3 minutes from it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 3 minutes from it. Yes,
So
Barclays. So I know that
you
very well.
you still in New York though, right?
No, I was born and raised in New York. I've been to Virginia. Let me see. This June 1st makes 10 years I've been to Virginia.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So
I'm still in New York though. Still in New York though.
oh, okay. I thought they ran you out of your city, man. I was like, wow, man, I can't.
Nah, I
They,
ain't ran away, man. I ain't ran away. Me and the ex didn't work out, so my brother had to take me in, man. My older brother take me in. God bless him. Then that was in Hampton, Virginia. Then 3 months later, I got my own place in Newport News, Virginia. That happened in 2012, so that makes almost 10 years. Be 10 years I live here, but hey, still New York though.
mm-hmm. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, so let's talk about one more thing. Then we gonna close this out and everything. Now there is some talking. I know what you hear about that. They want Wilder to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And what you think about that?
Yeah, I think Wilder need to come back to keep heavyweight boxing interesting. I think after White and Tyson Fury, I don't know where heavyweight boxing is gonna go. To be honest, AJ Usyk, if Usyk beat AJ again, Tyson Fury win, and he talking about retiring.
Yeah,
It can actually the heavyweight division can actually look like Klitschko era did when he reigned for 10 years with heavyweights winning, but no entertaining fights, no knockouts, nothing. You got skill, but just because you skill don't mean you can sell. And I can look at Usyk as a guy that can reign for a long time and not sell. Like nobody would care.
Yeah.
Have all the belts, and nobody would care. So when it comes to Wilder, Wilder brought interest back into the heavyweight division, like it or not, because
Uh-huh.
now, he was not only just a black fighter, but he was getting knockouts, devastating knockouts, and people love knockouts, no matter what you say. That's why I be laughing when I hear a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, he get knocked out, but skills, this and this and this. When Mike Tyson was knocking people out, wasn't nobody talking about, oh, I love how he set the uppercut up. I love how no, he was getting knockouts. That's what they loved about Mike. That's why he was able to sell on pay-per-view against a nobody. It,
Mm-hmm.
he was the product, and it was destroying stuff. That's what casuals like to see. They don't talk
Mm-hmm.
about his foot setting and the way he throw his jab or he need to set that up. That's not what casuals talk about. They talk about, do you see that man shaking on the floor right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they talk about. That's the audience that they trying to attract. That's what Deontay Wilder did. He brought a lot of people back to the heavyweight division and paid attention to it. That's why he was so huge. That's why he was so important. So to see him coming back, I would love to see him come back. Hopefully he worked on certain things, but he right now he's still one dimensional to me. So but when it comes to that question, would I want to see him back? Absolutely. We need to see if he can. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of heavyweights like Tyson Fury that can get up 4 times from Wilder's right hand. He did that in 3 fights. He was knocked down 4 times. That's saying a lot for his power. So yeah, I don't see uh, any other heavyweights that can get up. That can get up from Wilder's right hand. So it would be interesting to see who he will fight, because I would definitely want to see him back. That's
You know what, bro? And tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't at first I don't want to see Wilder because
mm-hmm,
the way how the system treated him. We
mm-hmm.
ain't gonna get into that. And there are, you know what I'm saying, there are facts. There are we see documents on that. We have to see our visual eye. So we ain't gonna get into that. But I would say this: I believe if the system will let Wilder fight, I'm just putting it out there. The underrated box talk number 70. I'm throwing it out there. I think that he could become undisputed heavyweight champion this way around. I believe that.
If you say boxing, it's just the thing. You got so much money now, man. It's like, do you really need it? And what are you fighting for now? I think that's what it comes down to Wilder. Is he didn't already provide for his little girl. She ain't gonna want for anything now. So
Mm-hmm.
now, do you want to do this for you? You know, you know, that's where it comes down to it for me. It's like, what if he want to still fight? What is he doing it for now? You know what I'm saying? You can't get the get back from Tyson Fury now. So can you move on and keep fighting without Tyson Fury? That would be interesting. So it's a storyline. It's definitely a good storyline if he do come back. And let's say he get a knockout. Oh my God, man, that would be crazy. People go crazy.
Yeah, I really believe that. The way how it's set up right now, I'm saying if Furry retired, okay,
Hmm.
Furry be out the way, okay. I feel like this. There's a clear path that Wilder could be undisputed. I don't see who's gonna stop.
Shoot, see that's the thing. If Ugas is a very versatile, he can box, man, and I think that he can get Wilder problems. He won't be standing there just to get tagged with that right hand. I think
Yeah.
he can move all night. I hate to say it, but if Wilder catch him, then I want to see how he reacts. So that's what it would come down to. But AJ versus Wilder is still a big fight. I don't care what
Mhm.
nobody say. That is still huge. I remember when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, people thought that Holyfield fight wasn't big no more. That was the fight that was supposed to happen in November. That fight was
Mhm.
signed. People forgot about that. And,
Right.
and that fight was still big later on. A couple years down the road,
Right.
Holyfield and Tyson was still a big fight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that if Wilder fights, it's got to be championship. It's got to be championship contention. That's what I think. I don't think this will be like just a pay view. It should be champ for the championships. That's what I think. I think he
What,
should be.
Wilder and AJ?
Well, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but they can put up just a little phony belt, but if it ain't about real belts, I think we'll just be so much fans. We wouldn't care about the championship. It'd just be like, who's the better out of these two we've been fighting and debating about for all these years.
Hmm.
I think that's what I personally think. It would be big in the UK or the United States. That would really sell.
Yeah, yeah, Usyk. But I think about that. I think about Joshua, but Usyk against. Think about Usyk against Wilder for unified. Mm-mm-mm.
So you like that fight better than AJ?
Oh man, you gonna make me talk about AJ, man?
I'm
Come on.
just saying, do you like that fight? You talking about Usyk like it's a sexy fight for the belt. I don't care about the belts. I'm more like the fights that we want to see. That's what boxing always been. Majority.
Yeah, I understand the fight. Yeah, I get the fight. I get the fight, but I'm talking about belts now.
Okay.
I would like Wilder. If Wilder come back, I would like to see him one way or the other to unify the belts.
Nah, that's not a style I would want him to fight. Usyk does everything too well. He will not. He will kill Wilder on the inside, bro. We would be just hoping for one punch. That's a style I don't like for Wilder. Can he knock him out? Yeah, he's literally got a puncher's chance in that fight. That's
I,
all.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying, but we know as boxing is unpredictable. Anything can happen, but I get what you're saying.
I get what
But
I understand that. I respect that, but yeah, he's better off fighting AJ than to fight a guy.
all right. Let's throw it out there too. Now, how about if AJ find a way and be Usyk? Would you accept the fight with Wilder and AJ fight
Yeah,
for the U?
yeah. I mean, you want the belts. I get it. You big with the belt. I'm not really so big on belts. I never have been. Because I know sometimes it's accolades, is accomplishments. That's good, but sometimes fighters don't fight each other because it ain't a belt.
That's
When
true.
when you got a good fight, you should be able to make the fight. I think I still would like it. Even with belts, that's a plus. That's cool. Uh, I still think AJ versus Klitschko, when they fought each other before they brought that vacant belt on the line, that was still a good fight for him. It didn't
Yeah.
matter if it being a belt; it was a vacant belt that
Right.
he can become champion. That was cool, but it was still a good fight. I was going to enjoy it regardless of a belt was going to be
Yeah.
held or not. So that's my point. I think AJ and Wilder is still just a big fight. I don't know if you understand the magnitude of the build
No,
up.
I understand the magnitude, but I think what it is, bro, that when it was supposed to happen, like 2018, it never happened.
I get it. I get it. That's my thing too. Manny Pacquiao gets
Right.
knocked out by Marquez. We didn't think Floyd and Manny fight will still be big. It
Right.
great numbers. People still wanted to see that. Why? Because they invested too much. They went back and forth for years. Who's ducking who? Manny's is he scared of Manny? Is Floyd scared of? Is Manny scared of Floyd? It was so much back and forth that when the fight was not finally came, we was geeked. I don't know about y'all. I was geeked. I felt
Yeah.
it was the fight when it was first happening. Yes, it should have happened 5 or 6 years earlier, 7, but we finally got it. Now, Floyd dominated and he stunk it up
Yeah.
because he
Uh
just
huh.
dominated. But the fact of the matter is, we got that fight. We finally got that fight. That was just the whole thing was, you know, it shouldn't. And I feel the same way with AJ and Wilder. I still think that fight will be huge. Uh,
Yeah.
and everybody will be like, they want to know who was right. We put too much investment into that fight for it not to
Yeah.
happen.
And also too, really let people know Usyk is from Ukraine,
Yeah,
so he is fighting for his country. So this is the thing that I think as hardcore. I'm talking about us as hardcore boxing fans. Is as you know the business along. I'm getting ready to say is this: one way or the other, if this war keep on going through, keep on happening, I mean, keep on, you know, that I really believe that it's gonna be for a while. That means them sanctions have to make a decision. He got to get up those belts.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He got to get up those belts
Or
because that means you holding up and everything. Now, if it's like that, Uso ain't got no. You gotta go. So I guess that it goes to AJ, right?
no, you talking the belts will go to
No,
AJ?
no, the belts. I mean, that means. I mean, not the belts to AJ. So that means they got. Let me ask you a question. That means they got to have the tournament, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they would have more of a it would be vacant belts. I don't think it'll be a tournament for each belt, but they'll be vacant. So you just pick which way you want to go after. I think Big Baby, they'll find some type of way for Jared Anderson to find his way up there to one of those vacant belts. I wouldn't be surprised. But or Joyce, the guys
Yeah.
that top 10, yeah. So you have a lot of the top 10 heavyweights fighting for those vacant belts. I think it would do good for boxing.
And then if it's like that, that means that, and then it's safe to say that Wilder should come back. I mean,
Oh yeah.
if Furry is not part of that,
The boxing guys will answer again because that's exactly what happens. Look at Klitschko. I mean, Klitschko,
yeah,
you know, uh,
yeah,
Tyson Fury won the belts and then he dropped them. Didn't he drop? I think it was all three belts. I think he had three belts, if I'm
yeah,
mistaken,
three belts. He dropped them. Yes.
because he had drugs and whatever was going on. His life.
Oh, we can't talk about it. I call him Wild Animal Eater because he pay 25,000 eat a wild animal to clear his blood out. I mean, he did. He did. I'm just saying. And it seemed like the media just missed that. They
Right.
just missed that. I don't know how could you. I don't know, mainstream media. I don't know how y'all could miss that.
Right.
He paid 25,000 for a dirty hog to
Mm-hmm.
clean his blood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
Right. But
and
yeah, no, I'm with you. That's crazy. I think the heavyweight division will be more excitement. But when you got guys like Usyk, I like Usyk. He's not a star. He's not nobody that I'm a relate to. I care less. I mean, I think he's
yeah.
a fighter, but I care less.
Thank you, Tomolo. I just say, I'm just see for me. I just let people want to live with it. I know a higher box. I already know him for a long time. He just never knew of my other name right now, but he knew
Right.
me for a long time. So we always had deals with each other. So we do have these talks, and I'm glad that he had these talks because y'all going to hear a person that knows it politically, and that's what we talking about right now. So that's what I'm saying. Like this, if Usyk still fighting this war, the belt's got to be vacant. The
Mm-hmm.
Saints cannot stop holding. Y'all can't babysit it. So with Joyce and all that, like you were saying, I'm being honest with you. I don't really like the heavyweight, but I understand what you're saying. They should get a shot at it, and then hopefully it'll wake up AJ to get more serious, and then he can get those belts, right?
Oh, yeah. I think he can get one of them back. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he can get one of them back, and then he can go and say, hey, he like to hear, look, wow, I got at least got two belts, man.
I think would be fun if it was me if I'm one of the promoters, I would have Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz fight for one of those vacant belts. If you
Yeah,
want perfect, that would be a great to see if you can crown one of those two guys because Luis Ortiz having a world title, that would be huge for him in his career.
yeah.
That would be huge for him.
And then at the same time, when all the belts be filled up, and that's when, like, again, like I'm saying, Roots is still fighting the war.
Mm-hmm.
If he's still fighting the war, then we could just engage now. Okay, we can fight for belt now. So and then it's gonna take a while though, and then hopefully, I patiently that I could say about maybe a year and a half we could see undisputed.
Yeah, but Yeah, I think the stripper, he's gonna have to be off for almost close to a year for them to even consider about stripping him. I think what Thurman was almost out for 2 years before they even made him strip. He had 2 belts, and they made him take one. The
Yeah.
WBA, he still kept the WBA. So it depends. But if he's starting holding up the division, yeah, it's only right, and he
You
shouldn't
gotta
even.
give it up. You gotta give it up because cause when I was hearing, bro,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't do that. I've been away from here for a few days. I'm telling you, that war, they said it's just beginning. They not giving for the fight. And I'm not saying it's gonna last a long time, but I just letting you know right now, ain't gonna stop no time soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I said like my birthday is June 4th. So I feel at that time, y'all gotta make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta make a decision. Thank you. Y'all gotta make a decision. Because you cannot if he's still gonna fight, if he's still gonna be in the war, so
Mm-hmm.
like you said, they holding up, and so you right. So let's get the other fighters in. Let's see.
I think that'd be dope if he did decide to come back over and fight, and then like let's say if he picked Wilder, let's say if he fight Wilder and Wilder knock him out, and then Wilder just open up and show a Russian flag and lay it on top of him.
Oh, you mean, brother Watcher, check it if you want to come on. Check your email. I send the link. If you want. Oh, there he is right here. Okay, there's brother Watcher from down under.
Good man,
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me good?
Yes,
real.
sir.
Yeah, I was just passing through and I heard you guys talking about the heavyweights and everything. Um, a lot of stuff is up in the air right now. Um, I don't know what's going on with this Usyk rematch. I mean, they're saying June, but nothing's confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we can't say for certain the rematch happens. Maybe we could say it later this year happens. I think Usyk will fight. He's out of the country and everything, so I think he will be fighting AJ. But um, you never know, man. Someone could get injured. Someone could fall out. It's just like it's very unpredictable these days with the landscape of just how the division is. So um, I think with Ortiz and Ruiz, obviously Heyman has tried to get Ruiz to finally, actually agree to fight Luis Ortiz, and pitch them for a title shot. But yeah, man, you guys cook on it.
Yeah. What do you think? So you think that would be a good vacant belt match with Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz? I think so. If the
Well,
belts were up for grabs, that was one of the things that I mentioned.
yeah, I think Heyman will probably, if out of those four,
Belt.
IBF probably he'll get to Ruiz and Ortiz to fight for. That's a big fight, like in certain
Mm-hmm.
parts of America, you know. So yeah.
Yep. Joseph Parker will still be on the list. There's a lot of top heavyweights that will still be able to fight for those vacant belts.
Yeah.
If that came to fruition, if that did happen, it would be interesting. I think that would definitely be interesting to see that. But I still, like I said, I still want to see what AJ do against Usyk. I think, but his confidence is not up there. So he
Yeah.
definitely is getting a break from this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Look, I was reporting. Let me repeat. High run boxing. I'll repeat to you, to brother watcher. When I was watching on TV, because I haven't been on the last few days, that the war of Ukraine, it's not ending no time soon. And when I was telling the Ohio boxer running that they got to make a decision, I said, my birthday, June 4th. That I said for me, if he's still in the war, y'all gonna, he got to release, those belts. That's what I'm saying. So how do you feel what I just said?
Yeah, I mean, like if it ends up that way, there's a lot of guys that can sit out and still not get stripped.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I remember people out here were saying Deontay should get stripped because he won't fight Dillian White or some crap like that, which was complete horse crap. But I can see your angle definitely. I just think like in the first place, they shouldn't have tried to make Usyk wait. They should have done this earlier because Joshua could have fought him earlier. He really should have fought Usyk first, but the mandatories are in a certain order for a reason. But he should have stayed more active. This way there wouldn't be as much waiting. Because remember, a couple weeks ago, AJ and Joe Joyce, AJ and Otto Wallen, he was mentioning Ortiz. That there's too much going around. There's not something that they need to decide, because at the end of the day, a fighter needs to train for one person,
Right.
both guys. So they need to make a decision on this stuff. Really, they have to. And who's to say Usyk is the same guy coming back into this fight? He might be ramped up a bit more, or he might be a bit mentally disturbed. He might not want to engage like how he did last time with AJ. Maybe he goes around the ring for 12 rounds with his hands up, hoping not to get knocked out. You just never know.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely agree with you that I didn't even think about that. Like him coming back, being a total different fighter from being in that war, man. That can definitely happen if he.
Yeah,
if
and also Lomachenko too.
Yeah, Loma. Yeah, that could be the case. I think even with the June or you said your birthday is June. Am I mistaken?
June 4th.
June 4th.
I would say that. Know why I say that? Not say my birthday because we know this war had been going on for a while now. And let me repeat the ones that just came in the chat. I've been away for a few days. Have had some good time. Ooh, had some good time. There ain't none of you goddamn business. But because but I was checking out the news that this war Ukraine is gonna last for a while. They don't know it's gonna be undefinite. And so this been going on almost 3 months now. So I said for me, I said a time limit is around my birthday, June 4th. It should be a decision. Now I agree with Brother Watcher. It should be make a decision. But I'm saying for me, I'm just saying my birthday because the sanctions, they should really, they're probably going to get some time to see what's going on like this.
Yeah,
I said by my birthday, I gotta make a decision. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
I feel that's long enough.
That's too much pressure. I think that's too fast. I think that's
too fast.
Yes, I think it's too fast. I think you got to at least give him a year.
A year? Okay.
Yeah. Like give him a year. If they're gonna go to war and he's in there for a year, you got to at least give him that, because we gave Keith Thurman a year from an injury, elbow injury, and all this other stuff.
Okay.
He was inactive for a while, and this ain't the only act. We got to be fair here. So I definitely get what you're saying. If the guy's holding up the division, then that's when we're gonna have to start.
Okay. So, I stand corrected, but I want you to understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is this: that this war that could go. They said it could go.
I'm with you.
Putin already know that.
Look, we're on the same page, but once we see, let's say it can go there, but let's say the war stops in November, then you see what I'm saying? It's like I want to see it happen first, and we strip a guy who already was gonna get 6-7 months laid off anyway, for his next fight. I'd rather wait, at least give him that chance instead of saying we're gonna just take all the belts and run with it. I think he at least deserves a year if he's Irving out of all people. Then
so November makes a year.
No. I don't know what year. When did the war start? It's only been a couple months.
Couple months. So let me see.
It's been 2. This is fresh.
I think the fight will happen. To be honest, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna take it to Saudi Arabia, like they did with Ruiz, because I think Like, remember, like I think Usyk's getting like 20%, 25% for this rematch, which is ridiculous. I'm not. I heard that's what I heard, but maybe it's not true. But I think Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and all that, they're under the impression that if they move it to Saudi Arabia, it will end up like the Andy Ruiz fight last time, where they've got an advantage, quote unquote. I think that it's a bit risky going there, but at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn doesn't care about the stuff going on there either. But I think the fight happens, and I actually think AJ will win because, as I said last time I was on here, these guys that have gone overseas to the Ukraine, they're not soldiers. Like, let's just be real. These guys they're boxers.
Mhm.
Lomachenko lives in freaking Los Angeles or Las Vegas in some mini mansion. These guys got sponsors. They're not. I'm not saying they're not hard men. They're not tough, but when you see some of the stuff that they've seen, okay, that's a little different. AJ doesn't have that issue. AJ's been in the gym, getting his grind on. He's been training. So I think the fight will happen. I can see different. There's a lot of opinions on this, but I do think it will happen.
I'm
And
hoping. I hope it do. So I'm definitely hoping.
Yeah, because it'll be interesting to see what changes have been made. And, like if AJ wins, that would be a great turnaround for him because, or if Usyk wins, it just shows that, he can carry a lot on his shoulders. So, we'll see what happens.
And who knows? We might have AJ come out with the Russian president walking him ringside.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna make me get a beer after this, man. Never know, right?
Yeah, I'm great. Head up out of here, guys.
All right, then make your last remarks, brother, and then I'm gonna keep you posted. Like, let me before you leave. We will. Oh yeah. Oh, brother, watch. I want you to stay there. I want you to stay here. I'm going to do a special boxing live. We're going to talk about U.S. boxing teams. It's going to be for the Goodwill Games, or Olympics, also Golden Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add Golden Gloves. So it's going to be sometime this week. Ohio Run Boxing. And also, brother Watcher, if you want to go join it, I'll keep you posted. But I'm just letting you know, do your study.
Yep.
Great. The Olympic teams, some great Olympic teams, man.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about 80, 45. We talking go way. Cause there's some teams that you go way. And also some goodwill games. They have some. Y'all talking about the U.S. They have some great U.S. teams too, boxing teams too, and the goodwill games too. That actually became champions, the legends too. So we cannot leave, and also Golden Gloves. So you can make your last remarks on Ohio Run Boxing.
I really don't have nothing to say, man. I enjoyed myself on the show. Thanks for inviting me on.
Appreciate that.
I enjoyed myself, man. Y'all can follow me on IG, Ohio Runs Boxing, Facebook, Marcus Nall, and Ohio Run Boxing on there too. That's all I have to say right now, man. Just thank y'all. Thank you for having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna definitely keep you posted. Thank you, Ohio Run Boxing.
Yeah.
And go follow him on IG, go follow him on Facebook. And thank you so much, brother, for blessing us and everything with your wisdom and everything. And you will see him more on here. Thank you. Appreciate that. Brother Watcher from Down Under, how you feel tonight?
I feel good, man. Good to be on.
I'm glad to have you on and everything. And you got a few minutes to spare, or you got to get off too?
Nah, I'm good. I got a few minutes.
Oh, good. We're gonna try to keep you in a few minutes and everything like that. Now let's talk about the Spence and Ugas fight. What's your take on that?
I think Spence is gonna wreck this guy. I truly think Spence will wreck him. And I think it will probably take between 6 rounds or 9 rounds, somewhere there. Remember, a lot of people forget Ugas was talking a lot of stuff back a couple years ago, saying that Spence would never fight him. Spencer's ducking him. Well, here we are. You know,
Right.
you sign that contract. You know, when you get in that ring, that's the ring of truth, the squared circle of truth. Ugas is going to try boxing. He's not going to have much success. He'll have a couple moments here and there. He'll probably land his counter right. But Spence is going to box him a bit. And then a few rounds in, Spence is going to turn the heat up. He's going to get on the inside. And Ugas won't be able to compete there. And he's going to bludgeon him. He's going to beat him down. And he's going to drown him. And, if Spence can get that nice WBA belt. So, yeah. Good fight. It's going to be a fun fight while it lasts. But I got Spence winning.
Yeah, I you know what? Oh yeah, let me explain it before I continue. We approaching 100 of the Underrated Boxing Talk, right? I want you to be part of the panel because you've been a big part of this. I want you to be part of it. I want you not now. I just want you to put a thought in it. I want you to tell us what's your favorite, boxing lives, other numbers that you enjoyed, and tell the people why. But don't worry about it. I'll let you know we approach like 98, 99. I'll let you know about that. But now, my thing is this: that I'm glad you brought up that point about Lucas, because he did say that it is so funny. Mainstream media and the casual fan has never said anything about it. That is so funny, right?
Yeah. You know, I mean, look, we got to fight. You know, and Errol's not coming to play.
No.
You know? Yeah, that's a man on a mission there. You know, Ugas, he's living like he's in Hollywood now. Not in that ring, you're getting hit upside the head. So, yeah.
I'm gonna go one thing better for you. I'm saying this. I think he could put him out between fifth or seventh round. I think he gonna go to the body. I think he gonna succumb it, and I think he gonna put his lights out. And but I'm saying, if it's Spence beat Ugas, right? Just like I told Ohio, I was saying this to Ohio Run Boxing. Shout out to Ohio Runs Boxing. Thanks for coming again. Well, we want to see TC. Brother Watson, know I call him TC. Well, TC, if Spence wins, we want to see you walk up in that ring. Knock outside the ring, not wave in the ring. We want to see you crawl inside the ring and get a Spence face that I'm next.
I mean, there's got to be some give with it. There's got to be some call out. I don't think Terrence is quote unquote scared of Spence, but I think he does. I think he looks at Spence and, he knows that is not, an easy fight like that. He should come to PBC. He can get Spence first, but if he doesn't get Spence first, he can get Danny. He should really go for Thurman, because Spence already beat Danny, whereas Thurman is fresh in that respect. But there's got to be some promotion. There's got to be a call out. Errol's called him out continuously. It's time for that other side to, talk a bit more. Not behind cameras, not online, in person. Because when him and Errol met in person, Terrence Crawford was acting like a fanboy.
Yeah, he was. And I think what it is too, that I see a blue blood earlier. That they are talking about the fight with Crawford and Danny Garcia. That I don't think it's a sexy fight. But he gotta do something. If he let's be honest, where TC can go, you might as well side PBC. Where you gonna go?
I mean, forget a Josh Taylor fight. No one wants to see that shit. You know,
Right.
I think a Jaron Ennis fight is good. I think that's a good fight. You know, but even Jaron Ennis, he needs to watch his mouth too. He just can't keep Errol's name out of his mouth. As far as I'm concerned, Errol's always respected him.
Right.
You know, a lot of these guys they talk a lot, but you know they don't keep the same energy. You know, the Garcia fight for me is a bit overdue for Crawford. I feel like that could have been bigger a few years ago. You know, Garcia's coming off a loss. I don't think he'll want to really get Crawford, and if he does, the price is going to be high. Thurman though, now that's a good fight. That's a nice fight, that one.
Thurman against Crawford.
Yeah, against Crawford, that will sell good. That'll be an exciting fight. But the Errol fight, that's the gold. You know, everyone wants that. That's for everything, all the marbles. You know.
Now I would say this, and I want you to understand. I really don't care about Thurman. I think Thurman came back, and I just say that they just throw him in the championship conversation, and I don't like it. But I would say this: Thurman against Crawford. That's a more sexy fight than Crawford than Garcia, than Danny Garcia.
Yeah, I think Crawford he'll beat Garcia to the punch. I feel like Garcia, he waits. The more I've seen him, the more he waits.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, Thurman, you know, I respect him coming back, but he needs to stay active.
Yeah.
You know, fighting once or twice every like 2 years, it's not going to cut it. You know, but at least he hasn't done Sean Porter. That's the very important thing here.
Right.
You know, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
You know?
I would say this, brother. Watch this. Right. I would say that if Crawford side PBC, right, I think he should sign like for a 4-fight deal. I say why? Because if he could fight Garcia, right, and then if Thurman takes a fight, right, like you said, like going by what you said, keep him busy, right. Then down the road, right, then then you got a good fight right there. They both fight the tune-ups, and then we can see Thurman fight Crawford and stuff like that. We don't have to wait like a whole year. We can squeeze 2 fights this year and stuff like that. And I'm saying like this, if Crawford prevails and stuff like that, and I think that's when we could actually see really Earl Spence in that. But I could say this though, I gotta say this, and you know, I think you heard when I say this. It's Spence B. August that I think we really believe that he is. Even that TC joined the PBC, he's not going to have that much to negotiate because that means Spence will have 3 belts to 1. Now, what do you think? If I'm right to say that? Because I said why? Because he got more belts than Crawford. He fought better opposition than Crawford.
Look, it's not rocket science. Spence has just much more to offer. I'm not saying Crawford is unknown, like no one knows him, but the numbers speak for themselves. Errol is a bigger draw.
Was.
You know, he comes out, gets a 3rd belt. You know, I mean, you know, whatever's put out there that's reasonable, take it. You know, because I don't want to go down this road again where you get offered 60-40 and then you go, oh, nah, you're avoiding me. Nah, you know, you already offered this fight. And because he's going to get offered more. He's going to get a higher offer now. But there's no trying to swerve it now. If it's good and if it's within the deal as well, he's got to take it. You
Yeah,
know, he doesn't have much to bargain with here.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But brother Watcher, am I correct? If Spence get that third belt, you know what I'm saying? That ain't no 60-40 deal.
No, and Crawford's mind, it's going to be a 50-50 deal because what he's going to do is he's going to stand on his stool, he's going to plant his feet, and he's going to demand that 50-50. That extra 10% he's going to demand.
But that
Trust
ain't
me.
no 50. No, you right. But that ain't no 50-50, man.
But he will do it. He probably will.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because that's just how he is. He's just that egotistical when it comes to this particular thing. He's gotta do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's gonna put back a game. I'm saying that ain't no 60-40. That ain't no 50-50. I'm looking at maybe 70-30. Am I accurate?
Yeah, you got to remember they're getting pay-per-view upside, so there's extra on top of it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right.
You know, I don't think it's a hard fight to make. I just think Crawford is. Look, I do think that guy from PBC that did that interview, a while back, Tim Smith or whatever his name was, he needs to shut up. Like, he's not in the negotiating room.
Right.
He needs to be quiet because he threw Errol under the bus there, and he was a bit disrespectful there. So I don't want to hear him talk about this fight at all.
Right.
But when it comes down to Al Heyman and everyone that's managing, I'm sure Al Heyman will be able to sort something out for Crawford. I think Heyman would love to have Terence Crawford. I think those two. But you know what? Crawford said some bad things about Al Heyman in the past. He said, "I'll never work with him, this and that." So you see how already he makes it hard for himself? And then everyone wants to blame Errol for the fight not happening. But Errol has been so consistent, and he's never changed his tune about it. It's always been, I want this, and that's it.
Right. And see, this is I'm glad you brought that point out too. So far, it's so funny that mainstream media do not want to bring that out too. But we talk about that another day. And it goes also see now TC, you gotta crawl back to PBC. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Spit, go on what Brother Watcher said. Spitz win this fight. Crawford go to PBC. Crawford, you ain't got you you better take whatever Al Heyman gonna give you.
I'm not saying he should lie down for chump change, but
No, not for chump change, but I'm just saying out of 60-40. Listen, 60-40, 50-50. Come on, brother Watch.
Well, Terence is a bit difficult to deal with when it comes to this thing. I mean, that's why Errol doesn't talk about it like in that aspect, because he's like, that's why you hear Errol a lot. He'll say, we'll see, because he knows that this other guy is just asking for a ridiculous amount, and it will make Errol's stock go down if they do like 50-50, you know? Because at the end of the day, casuals watch the fights. Not all the hardcores are there in the arena getting the pay-per-view or buying tickets, you know?
Right.
I don't think Errol cares about the money side of it, to be honest. But there's some guys around that are just making it difficult.
Yeah, and I think Earl want to get this over and done with, undisputed, because he said he wants to move on to go 154.
Well, you can only make 147 for so long and cut all that weight. This is what I'm saying. Errol wants to get it done because health-wise, it will benefit him and potentially Crawford as well. That's why he says, take my freaking offer so I don't have to kill myself to make this weight, because I want to fight you, because I want to be the best. I believe I can beat you. I believe I am the best welterweight, so let's get it on. And please be a bit easier in negotiations. We'll both get something that's fair and substantial, and we can just do the freaking fight. But this guy over here is running off to Pro Bellum or MTK or whatever. What are they going to do for you? Josh Taylor. that is nothing for your career at all.
Right.
You know? Or if you can't look, if Crawford can't get Errol, right? He can move up and beat the winner of Jamel and Castano or something. Then he has a real argument. He has a massive argument to get a bigger split or a reason to just go. But again, Errol was like, I want Crawford, and then I want the winner of Castano and Jamel for 154. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that plan.
No,
That's a
no.
good plan.
Yes, I agree on that too. But
But this other guy's making it hard, man. This other
yeah,
guy
it is, right. That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. Right. This is what I'm at. Right. I'm saying like this. You're gonna hear the right here, number one, here, right here, the underrated boxer number 70. I'm being honest. I'll hang it. I'm saying it's Spencer Victorious over Ugas. He said, listen, before you do all this, and your friend right here, look, I made sure you get the upper end, but this is 70-30. You want to put a ring, you want to put a rematch clause? You put a rematch clause. Oh, you know him, man. Put a rematch. And and Spence could go and say, man, I don't need a rematch clause. I don't want it. Look how he had me waiting. Listen, after I beat him, I'm going to 154. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's a good point. I remember every emphasizing the way how TC did he talk bad? He did talk back against Al Heyman. In the past. And I was Al Heyman. I'm sticking. I'm not. The 60-40 is out the way. 50-50 is out the way. I made sure you get some more at the gate. But this is 70-30. If you want to poke out your mouth, fuck it, I give you 80-20. Because you got a WBO belt.
Floyd Mayweather took the risk and took far less against De La Hoya.
Right.
He took far less against other guys. Okay. There's no excuse. Take the fight. If you believe you can win. Okay. Because remember, he's getting older now as well.
Right.
He's getting older. So don't do yourself a disservice. If you don't want the fight, though, that is okay with me. If you don't want the fight and you want to move up to 154 without fighting Errol,
go ahead.
Fine. As long as you don't talk that shit and continue to make out like he's avoiding you and everyone else is avoiding you, then you can do it. But don't talk crap on the side of your mouth and then move away, because that's ridiculous, that. Because he's been doing that for the past 3 or 4 years, and it's really annoying.
Right. And also, TC, don't think you will go 154. You think it's all that easy. Because it ain't.
He's talking all that crap about Jamel and, crickets, when Jamel responded. That I think Errol will have a far better time there than Crawford will, because I think that, in my opinion, that's a mistake for Crawford to move up. That's why he should get Errol. He's got probably a better chance here,
Right.
because he can beat Errol. Both these guys can beat each other, but we won't know until we get in that ring.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, Crawford, don't stop listening. Don't stop listening to people. Oh yeah, if I like Earl Spence ain't nothing, and then also you go 154. Okay, Jamel is waiting, and I'm telling you like this, that is a bad matchup.
Yeah, that's not he's not beating he's not beating Jamel.
That's a bad matchup, man. Nah, you get killed.
You see those right hands Sean Porter was landing on Crawford. If that's a right hand from Jamel, you are going to sleep, my man.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. And then you think about it. That's what I'm saying. So you picture if Porter would have just a little power, just a little power.
Sean wasn't even in proper shape for that fight, and look what he did still.
Right. I'm just saying, nope. Jamel, like you said, Jamel put you. That's it. It go down the pipe. That's it. He going to sleep. Bone back. Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, you might as well get a bid from him because he going to sleep. No, that's a bad matchup.
He needs to be careful what he says as well, because he's been talking a lot of disrespectful stuff as well. So I'm wondering if in person, if he ever sees Errol or these other guys, if he keeps that same energy. A lot of guys from Crawford's camp, they say a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
right? Very extremely disrespectful. I tell you what, though, in person they won't keep the same energy. This is another reason the fight should get made, because it will expose all the bullcrap surrounding the fight.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think that's what I'm saying. Like this fight got to happen this year. Forget the
Yeah.
wait. Forget this guy. Let's listen. All right, this April, May, June, July, August, September, at least October, November. It's got to happen. That fight got to happen. Sign on the dotted. Damn it, you know what I'm saying? Within the month, sign on the goddamn dotted line, and the rest of the time promote the month. This got to happen, man. Enough is enough is enough, man. I tell you like this, I really believe that enough is enough because, but but like I said, that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm glad that you come. Make your last remarks, brother. Make your last remarks.
Yeah, it was good to come on. Higher runs boxing. Good to talk with him for a bit as well. And yeah, just shout out to everyone in the chat. And yeah, it's been good. Looking forward to further ones.
Yeah, and also there, thank you. And also too, I want you to I want you to listen to what Brother Watcher is saying because he made a valid point of what Crawford said to Jamel Hill, Jamel Charlo. I want you to understand the context of what Brother Watcher is saying because that's what TC is saying. And this is he been echoing too. This is he be telling the media that I don't care about Smith. I can go up to 154. If you know anything about 154, if we talking about PBC now, ain't nothing but killers up there. And I'm TC, I know you listening. And you listen to the Underrated Boxer Talk number 7. And I know Bomac, you probably hear this too. You need to shut your mouth and fight. And stop being a thug and threaten this person, threaten that person. Because what goes around comes around. Stop being a bully and fight.
I will say this last thing. Look, at the end of the day, they're just trying to make it all negative. Errol doesn't care. He's never been that guy to fall into that. But they're focusing on making it negative. Him, Bernie the boxer, Bomac, Crawford, the whole team. That you know, his sister, they're just focusing on making it negative. But when the time comes, and they lose, because in my opinion, they're going to lose, nothing left to be said. But they'll probably come out with excuses and everything. So, yeah, that's just what I wanted to say.
There ain't no excuse. I ain't trying to hit you. Ain't trying to, I'm telling you like this. I'm letting you know right now, Brother Watcher. When that fight happens, if you lose Crawford, and I'm gonna tell you like this though too. If Crawford fights Thurman, that's not an easy fight either.
He's got to be careful in that one.
You gotta be very careful.
He might get put to sleep if the right punch lands.
Yeah. And let's understand, despite I don't like Thurman, he is a KZ veteran. He did got some rest for over 2 years. Am I right?
Yep.
And he rested up now, and he's very intelligent fighter. So I'm saying Crawford, Thurman can hit you up that like my brother Watson said. He catch you with a nice punch. You out too, especially. Let's be honest, Thurman got a nice right too. You can go to sleep on that too. And that happens. The whole welterweight picture has changed. So Crawford, you better win. You better win. That's all I'm saying. On behalf of my channel, my secondary channel, the number one ground real talk. This is the last of the underrated Boston Talk number 70. Number 71 be the do of this week. Hopefully, yeah, this week. And thanks, brother Watcher, for coming on. That always a pleasure, family. Thanks for coming on. Ohio Runs Boxing. Thanks, y'all. And everybody that is in the chat, thank y'all so much for coming through. And I might do something tomorrow. I am not sure yet. It's probably in the afternoon, so I don't know. But I'm trying to get some boxing, trying to get some more boxing coming in, and then also the Spence fight. This happened this week. No. It got to happen another 2 weeks, right?
I think so, yeah.
Next 2 weeks. So I said within that week, I'm trying to get some people. We're gonna talk more about that fight, and other stuff. So, but we're gonna do some boxing stuff, do some other stuff here. I know people say, "Why you ain't did no MMA tonight?" Because there was no matches tonight. No matches. We ain't gonna do nothing. So hopefully, brother Watcher, you join us next week because it's gonna be some matches. This week coming up, there's gonna be some matches coming up and everything. We're gonna talk about that. So, thank you, brother Watcher. Really much appreciate. Good evening. And like again, I say, this is the last of the underrated boxing talk number 70. Good night. Take care of yourselves and stay blessed. This one is Ghost. Good evening. Good night, night, night. Peace.
Peace.